Happy anniversary, Sheena. Says Sheena, sorry. Fucked it up again, kitchen. Oh, that was really well, no, we're probably still into the stream. A little bit more than 7 seconds. I'm not that late, Charles. I'm here. I'm here. I'm reading the chat. I'm behind the scenes. It's a beautiful day where I am, folks. It was hard for me to come inside. And so you know what? I reminded myself this is real, it's live, this is the way we do it. So, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to do that, but could you imagine if I did it a la Tool Time? Or what was that show where Wilson was the neighbor? Anyways, did you clock in for your shift on the agenda today? Please clock in for your shift by hitting the like button. I keep track. I don't like to ask too many times. Do as you're told. Thank you so much. Georgia Peach is here. She's clocked in. Les Gardner's here. Courtney's here. Charles Blake, of course, here. Um, Love it, love it, love it. I just want to thank everybody. We absolutely blew past 2,000 subs last night and into today. We have lots of new subs, and I'm so excited for all these new people, and I'm excited for all the old people as well. Old in a loving way. Um, I have a couple different court things to look at. Karin is here. Okay, Rochelle might come tonight. She was here the other night. Sorry, I was calling you Rach, but it's Rochelle. And hi Mayor, Cherry B. No, I know we're gonna do a demographic deep dive one day because I know how old y'all are. Okay. Michelle, hi. Les Gardner, like Streamlabs. Hello, Streamlabs. No, seriously. But seriously, thank you guys so much. I got myself a mug today that uh I think really says me. I don't know how would let that be seen. What the heck? Oh my God. Oh, come on now. I sprinkle F bombs around like confetti. Can you see it that way? No. Is this what people are always like putting stuff? I don't know how to be a YouTuber. Okay. Anyways, I really like that, and it's very exciting for me to have a new mug. Also, med check, med check, med check, which means take your meds. I recently just found some of my medicine in a place where I didn't think it was. So I was like, did I take that or not? So med check. Um, if you're new here, that's just the way we do. Uh, we are gonna watch some court. What else do we have? Oh, Christmas in July reminder. So the PO box details, I've posted the thing on the community tab with some details about Christmas in July that's coming up, which is a fun thing we're going to do on the channel. And I would love Christmas cards, homemade Christmas cards, but I live in Canada, so just know that. Um, and yeah, that should be it for right now. So we are going to go. Oh, that's right. I did name your strain in the chat if you'd like. I have ice cream cake tonight, which is so exciting. Charles has dilaudid. Wow. Okay, so we have a friend of mine, I would say, in my head, but not in real life. Probably not. 100% not. Probably. 100% not anybody I've ever met in my entire life. But um we love him. And I would just like to say, without further ado, we get an experience tonight. Hopefully, that might be different. I don't know yet. I haven't watched this, so it could be sad, but it's not going to be as bad as some of our other cases with this judge. Um, yeah, let's see here. Can anybody guess who it is? Can anybody guess by, oh, well, I put his name up. It's, oh, look at that. He's drinking. Why do I find that so funny? I don't know. Oh, Judge Hagen. Judge Hagen. Just, I love to love him, seriously. Okay. Actually, he's referee Hagen, but that just takes me right back to like soccer in high school, so no. Also, Evelyn Greer, hello. Who else? Billy Elliot. Oh, Billy, thank you so much for freaking reminding me. But that might not be tonight because I did sort of make an oopsie earlier, but I don't need to talk about it. I'm going to move on. We're going to get going. Let's get started. And please enjoy. If you're new here, say hi. I love it. If you, I had a really, really lovely comment the other, oh, yeah, reminds me. But I had a lovely, lovely comment. I have so many lovely comments today, but many, many comments. And a few people mentioned that they had found their home on the first time watching one of like yesterday's live because I guess I made some funny jokes. And then also they were one of the comments was like, as soon as I heard you say, don't be a dick and click the like button, I knew I was home. And I was like, yes, that's right, baby. Welcome home. Oh, thank you for reminding me. What did you have for dinner? If you didn't like what you had for dinner, let me know what you wish you had, but I would like to hear because Les Gardner had grilled salmon with smoked paprika, lemon pepper, and dill. And I know that somebody else put what they had for dinner. I remember it. You did, Lawrence? That's so funny. Lawrence found that map on the internet, the webs, the world wide webs. Let's see here. Did I see that Judge Middleton gave a day in jail for contempt? I didn't. I love Judge Middleton. I stan Judge Middleton. Let's just be clear. And always will. But um I have this weird obsession with not like courts that nobody has, but like I can be pretty sure if something feisty happens in Judge Middleton's court, I'm going to be able to see it later because of people that like it's just a covered one. So what I mean by that is like I don't feel the urge to watch Judge Middleton live during the day when I have like other courts that I will never see again. So it's a weird reasoning. It's not that I don't love him. It's that I know I can come back to him when I need him in dark times of court droughts via other YouTube channels, etc. Right? Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. I don't know what this is about, but this is one of our favorite referees. He honestly gets some I saw a car and I saw that definitely. Um I love the big D. Oh, Charles, thanks for the reminder. Okay, I'm gonna write that down too. So, um, we'll probably do bond court after this, depending on how this goes. So let's just see. Let's see how we do. And again, if you're new here, don't be a dick. Hit the like button, please.
Okay, it's June 21st, 2023. This is date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Ms. Hart, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Jenny A. Hart.
Thank you. And Ms. Mullen.
Tracy Mullen on behalf of friend of the court. This is the matter of Dewey Hooksma versus Jenny Hart, docket number 2015-007350DS. We're here from an April 26th adjournment to today's date and time to monitor for payments. Parties have a referee recommendation and order signed October 10th, 2022, which orders Ms. Hart to contribute child support and medical support for 2 children in the amount of $439 per month. The current balance on the account owed is $1,798.36, of which $1,501.86 is owed in child support to Mr. Hooksma. Medical support owed to the state is $254.50, and then there are some fees. There's been prior enforcement on the case of recent payments on the account. We have in a less income withholding payment, October of 2022, $118.89 posted to the account. And then in March of this year, involuntary offset of $2,999 was applied to the case. And then in May of this year, an involuntary offset of $439 was applied to the case.
Okay, so we've had some pretty significant payments recently, Ms. Hart. And so your arrears compared to your monthly balance is looking pretty good at this point. What's been going on?
It's just been difficult. My 3-year-old got diagnosed with autism, severely autistic. We're in the process of trying to get SSI for her, which will help us out tremendously, and I'll be able to continuously make some sort of payment. So right now it's just my husband working because she is in ABA therapy for over 30 hours a week.
Sure, and that's an intense therapy.
Yes.
Here's what I'm gonna do. So in other words, you're not currently working, correct?
I'm not currently working. There's just no way with transporting her back and forth and having the therapies that there's much time for me to work. I mean, I could work third shift, but I wouldn't get sleep, if that makes sense.
It does. So what I'm gonna do, because we've had some significant payments recently. I mean, the 2,000 paid and the 439. I know those are involuntary, but they're payments. I'm gonna find that right now enforcement, I believe, is a manifest hardship. That doesn't erase your arrears, ma'am, or it doesn't ultimately change your monthly bill, but I don't want to have you on the show cause docket like this.
Okay.
When there's obviously a lot going on in your household. So it eventually, I guess what I have to say is eventually we'll have to figure out how to get steady payments coming in. But for today, I'm going to dismiss the contempt. Just so you're
Okay.
aware that you might end up back here if
I know that I did talk to Social Security this like 2 weeks ago. And they're still in the process of getting everything. I filed it already. They're in the process of reviewing it and that kind of stuff. And they said that I should know within 3 months whether or not we get approved.
okay, and that can be a long road. So what I would recommend, if you, I think it might help you if you provide those sort of documents to your caseworker so that you
Okay.
keep us updated on what's going on, why you're, if there's anything to mitigate the circumstances as to why you're technically violating the court order, the court needs to know that, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So do you know who your caseworker is?
Not off the top of my head, I do not.
Ms. Schimpf.
Who? I'm sorry.
Jessica Schimpf is your caseworker?
Oh, yes. Yeah, now I remember.
Okay, so I would write that down and try to get you can provide these documents to the general friend of the court office. I understand that, but if you're wanting to, it could be more helpful if you're keeping in touch with your caseworker so that person knows that you're trying or we're trying to work on something.
Okay.
In lieu of having to come see me on show cause day.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep.
Can we make sure that part's in the order to contact the caseworker,
Sure.
please? Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Are you ready for Ms. Holmgren?
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
Sure, I guess so.
Okay, it's June 21st, 2023. This is date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Ms. Holmgren, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Nicole Michelle Hyatt.
Or Hyatt, thank you. Ms. Mullen.
Tracy Mullen on behalf of friend of the court. This is the matter of David Shaplicki versus Nicole Allman, also known as Hyatt, docket number 2010-005635 DM. Parties have a second order modifying judgment of divorce signed October 13th, 2015, which orders Ms. Hyatt to contribute child support, health insurance premiums, and medical support for one child in the amount of $224 per month. There's been prior enforcement on the case. This is an adjournment from April 26th to today's date and time. Balance on the account currently owed is $3,446.77, of which $3,241.77 is owed to Mr. Shaplicki in child support and medical support. And then there are some fees and costs. Payments on the account in the past year. In October, Ms. Hyatt paid current plus arrears. In November, $136.78 was paid. December, $136.78. And then in current plus arrearages were paid by Ms. Hyatt in January and February of this year. They also included a offset of $367. She paid, and then in March of this year, $853 applied to the case as an involuntary offset. And then she made a payment in March, which was the last, for $27.21.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hyatt, so what's been going on?
I had spinal surgery done 15 months ago, and I've been having some complications. I ended up getting a job for 7 months at the bowling alley, but I ended up injuring myself, so I'm not able to work at the moment due to my spinal injury that I have.
Do you have, well, obviously, I'm sorry to hear that, but do you have any medical documents you can provide to your caseworker where we could verify?
I have.
It's not that we don't, so just so I could say, it's not that I don't believe you, but it's helpful to have some corroborating documents from a doctor or something so that we can put it in your file and not have you show up on show cause day.
Your Honor, I've done that twice already. I've had to send in medical from my doctor and my surgeon both.
Okay, do you know when you did that? Ms. Mullen can look for me here.
It was sometime last year.
Oh,
I'm not very.
But that would have been before this most recent injury, correct?
I've been dealing with this injury since the beginning of COVID for the last couple of years.
Understood. So here's what I'm saying. You had surgery, then you were able to work, and then you were injured. We don't have anything around the injury.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
in other words, at some point, I understand you couldn't work and then you could, and now you can't. So I'm looking for some information that says that you cannot work currently.
Okay, I can get that for you.
And you have that information?
I don't, but I can talk to my doctor and get some of that, because we're still going through all the process. Like, I'm still going through it. I have to do more doctor's appointments, and it's been a very big hassle.
Sure. Any of that information that you have and can provide to your caseworker could help, because if we had that information, I could make a finding that you can't pay. But I'd just like to see that information first. So what I'm going to do is just adjourn this out 60 days. So to give you an opportunity to provide that information. If we come back in 60 days and we haven't heard anything from you, there's not much I can say. Okay.
Of course.
All right. So, do you know who your caseworker is?
I know her by Julie Conway.
Dubé is her current last name, but yes, same case manager. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can reach out to her, as I've said, you can, well, on the other case, but you can provide this information to our general office if you want. But if you want to have a direct contact with your caseworker, someone who's, hands-on with your case, it may be best to get that information to her. Okay.
Okay.
So hoping to see that will be in the order that you provide your medical information. And like I said, it's really going to be more relevant to the current sort of re-injury or the newer. Okay. So 15 months ago, that part's not necessarily going to be something that we need for the hearing in 60 days.
Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay. I can get that for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And lastly, we have Ricardo.
Wow, they sound excited about Ricardo, don't they?
All right, it's June 21st, 2023. This is date and time set for a front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Is it Mejia?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you just state your name for the record, please.
Ricardo Mejia.
Thank you. Mrs. Mullen.
Thank you. Tracy Mullen on behalf of friend of the court. This is Ricardo Mihai versus Monica Cook, docket number 2010-005598 DC. This is an adjourned matter from April 26th to today's date and time. Parties have a 6-order modifying order for custody, support, and parenting time signed December 14th, 2017, which orders plaintiff, Mr. Mihai, to contribute child support and medical support for one child in the amount of $359 per month. Balance on the account currently owed is $3,915.26, of which $3,537.17 is owed to Ms. Cook, now known as Ingersoll. There's $297.09 owed to the state in medical support, and then there are fees. Payments on the account in the past year, there'd only been 2, but it appears as recently as April of this year and June, lump sum payments came from an employer, $559.23 in April, $978.79 in June. There was no open withholding. I've spoken with the case manager about trying to confirm the current employment so we can get an accurate withholding, but it looks like Mr. Mihai is employed, and maybe that will continue.
Okay, so Mr. Mejia, what's been going on? It sounds like we've got some payments and a substantial one this month.
I had gotten a job getting paid cash, and I got behind there. I wasn't paying it, and now I got me a job where it just comes out of my check. So I'm trying to catch up, and I'm trying to pay a little more extra to catch up.
Okay, and where are you employed, sir?
Monarch Carpet.
Is that where we have the income withholding order, Ms. Mullen?
Yes, it was reopened, and it also looks like it's affiliated with maybe the owner's name, and that's what we were trying to clarify, is whether it should be under Monarch. Same address, same FEIN number, but it is going to come back out or reopen under Monarch Carpet Services.
Okay, so we should have that in place then, correct?
Yes. Yep, it'll run overnight. I've confirmed it with the case manager.
Okay, so sir, that's all good. So we don't have to talk about jail or anything. I think for today's purposes, since we've got the income withholding order in place, I'm satisfied to adjourn this out 90 days, just so we can make sure the income withholding order hits and you're paying steadily. Just so you're aware, though, we do have kind of a large balance for the amount owed per month. Okay. So just make sure that if the income withholding order isn't generating payments to the state, you are still responsible to pay those monthly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm hoping is the payments come in through the income withholding order will get you back on track, and then we don't have to have our hearing in 90 days. But if we're back here in kind of the same story where we're not really getting the payments and the arrears just grows, we may have to have a different conversation. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. She had forgotten to take it out a few times, and I had a reminder. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And sure, and I appreciate that. And if you could continue to make sure that that's coming out, that'll help you, and then you don't have to show up for days like these.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for just doing that for us. Oh no, do not go to that. I think I paused it just in time. Let me just pull the curtain down here for a moment while I get the next video, which is not a Kit Boga video. That's not what we're watching right now. We have, in fact, one of our regular events that we like to do. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kitchen Court Cases. This is my kitchen. We like to watch court in it. Around here, I ask you to clock in for your shift by hitting that like button. Don't be a dick. Give that like a click. Also, we play some games around here. Tonight, we're going to be playing Bond Court with Dismissal Dan. So, the we vote in the chat. You can vote as many times as you want. You can ask questions, but we try and guess what each person that comes up to bat is going to do with the monumental question in front of them, which is, do you want to hire an attorney? Are you going to ask for a court appointed attorney? Are you, for some reason, convinced that you should be your own attorney? And then luckily, this court is so satisfying because a 4444 or a big D in the chat, you're gonna notice that Dismissal Dan makes people's dreams come true by dismissing their cases very frequently, more frequently than any judge I've ever seen, except for traffic court. But this is not traffic court. This is first appearances in Georgia. So, without further ado, I will bring forward Dismissal Dan himself for the evening entertainment. And folks, please go ahead, ask questions. We have a lot of fun here. We're very nice for the most part, except when we're not. When we're not, we still love you. So, where is the button? There is the whoa, Dan. Okay. Oh, leave him right there. Okay, let's get going. Awkward, Dan. Come on.
All right, we'll be on a brief recess for just a few moments.
The male side, I'm ready
Few
for the male
moments
side.
later.
Okay, sure, we can do that. Is there a way that the females can hear the preliminary instructions?
Give me just a second. I'm working on it. Give me just a second. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've wondered what this is for a while, but we don't get to know a cluster. Literally.
Okay, very good.
Is it though? Look at the characters we have here. What the heck is this lighting here? It's crazy.
Your Honor, we ready? Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September the 8th, 2022. The time is 11:18 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. My name is Judge Daniel Nagel. Before I begin, there's going to be some preliminary instructions and some information for you. Just to let you know, today's hearing is not going to be an evidentiary hearing. It is going to be an informative hearing. That means that this is not an opportunity to talk about the facts of your case and why you have been wrongly arrested, what defenses you may have, what evidence you may have, who did what, why it was done, or anything like that. This is being broadcast live on the internet, and it's also being recorded. So anything that you say could potentially be used against you by law enforcement, the Solicitor General's office, or the DA's office. So it's very important that you do not discuss the facts of your case, because I'm not going to ask you the facts of your case. If you have a defense, save it between yourself and your defense attorney. Don't give people a heads up of what your defense is going to potentially be, right? Now, some of the information that I'm going to go over with you, I'm going to go over your charges. I'm going to go over whether all of them are going to be continuing or if some or all of them are going to be dismissed. If some or all of your charges are dismissed, they could be brought back later on by law enforcement, the DA's office, or the solicitor's office. If I dismiss some or all of your charges, it just means that the information that was presented on the warrant wasn't sufficient for the charges to continue. So I don't know if law enforcement is going to bring those charges back. It may just be that they forgot to put the name of a victim. It could be that they forgot to do something very easy. Whether they go back and do it and resubmit it, I don't know. I'm not going to tell them to. I'm not going to tell them not to. That's not my place. But I just want to make you aware that if your charges, either all or some are being dismissed, they could be brought back at a later date. I'm also going to let you know your bond amount on each charge that will be continuing if I am going to grant a bond. So we'll go over what charges are going to be kept and what those bonds are going to be if there is going to be a bond. Some of you may have special conditions as part of your bond. The most common types of special conditions are to not return to a particular address. So if I say don't return to a particular address, don't go there, because you could end up with even more charges and then also face violation of a court order, and you're very unlikely to get a bond on those charges. Another common type of special condition is no violent contact with someone. No violent contact means exactly what it sounds like. No yelling, screaming, cussing, kicking, throwing things, punching holes in the wall, throwing things on the ground, breaking, or anything like that that would make somebody believe that there is going to be an act of violence that's going to be committed. And then lastly, the other most common type of special condition is no contact. No contact means exactly what it sounds like. No contact, not physically, not through social media, no Kick, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, whatever creative way that you think you can contact somebody, it'll get found out. So if you have a special condition of no contact, in your mind, you need to think about that person does not exist in your world until your case is resolved, or at a later date, another judge modifies your bond conditions. Okay? Because if you do have contact with that person, you're very likely to end up back in the Clayton County Jail with new charges and without a bond. All right? All of you still remain with all of your rights. You have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to ask if you want to hire your own attorney, you want to represent yourself, or if you would like for me to appoint one for you. All of you have had the opportunity to fill out paperwork for a court-appointed attorney. If you did not fill out your paperwork, I can only assume that you want to hire your own lawyer or you want to represent yourself. So if you didn't fill it out and you want a court-appointed attorney, I'm going to have to get into your business because you didn't want to fill out the form, and your business is going to be broadcast all over the internet. Right? So if you didn't fill it out and you want a court-appointed attorney, I'm going to have to ask you questions that may be personal in nature, and you need to answer it if you want to have a court-appointed attorney. If you don't want to have a court-appointed attorney, that's fine. You can hire your own or represent yourself. I don't advise you of representing yourself, but you do have that right. You also have the right not to incriminate yourself or make any statements against yourself. And that's basically just don't talk about the facts of your case. All right. Lastly, I'm going to go over with you your next court date. If you bond out, you do not have to go to your next court date, which is your preliminary hearing. If you bond out of jail, your case will automatically be sent to the
Rochelle, I saw how you say your name in another chat earlier, and I want to apologize. I actually already did, but you probably weren't here, so I'm going to do it again. So, Rochelle, hello and good evening. Better than you deserve, better than I deserve. We are having a great night tonight. We are just getting through the uh, beginning parts of the bond instructions, and then we get into our favorite game, which is Dismissal Dan, Big D with Dismissal Dan. How many times will he give us the Big D? How many times will we get to flash the Big D up on the screen? This is the Big D, and we flash it up. And if you have the chat, you're a member, you can also do that too. Hi, Sean. How are you? Let's get going. Here we go.
The Solicitor General's office if all you have are misdemeanors, or the District Attorney's office if you have at least one felony charge. Okay. If you do bond out, just make sure that your information is accurate with the sheriff's office as well as the clerk's office. Okay. If you do not bond out, your next court date is going to be your preliminary hearing. That will be an evidentiary hearing where you have the right to make the state prove their case against you. It's not going to be a jury trial. It's going to be a evidentiary hearing with another judge. All they have to do is find probable cause to bound your case over. So it's a lower threshold than beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. Also, at your preliminary hearing, you or your attorney can negotiate with the state a modification to your bond or work out some type of plea agreement in your case. All right. But that's only if you have not already bonded out. Let's see. Lastly, I will ask you if you have any questions. Don't start asking me questions until I go through all of this information with you. I will give you an opportunity to say something. However, if your question is not, what are my charges? What is my bond? Do I have any special conditions? And when is my next court date? I would strongly encourage you not to ask me anything else because I'm probably not going to be able to help you. The last bit of information I'm going to give you is that if you want to bond out, you have basically two ways of doing it. You can either pay the sheriff's department directly, your entire bond amount. There may be some fees associated with that. And if you don't have any pending charges in Clayton County or somewhere else, they will let you go. The other option is to go through a bonding company. I don't know the process of going through a bonding company, but what I can tell you is that a bonding company typically charges somewhere between 15 and 20%. So if your bond is $1,000, 15% of that is $150. 20% of that is $200. So those are general guidelines. That is not a guarantee. That's not a promise of anything. I'm just giving you some information because these are the types of questions that I hear most often. So please don't come up and ask me how much it's going to be to bond you out. The answer is, I don't know. Do the math of 15 to 20%, and that's typically going to be your answer. All right. Now, before I begin with individuals, I need a little bit of cooperation from all of you, and I need everyone to please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm the information that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do. All right. You can put your hands down. So we'll begin with the female side, and then we'll work our way over to the male side. All right.
Davis. You want me to sit down?
All right, ma'am. What is your full name?
Davis.
Okay, I'm not trying to be rude, but literally, if I just say what I think she said, I ate sugar lick daddy. That's what my brain heard. I ate sugar lick daddy. I'm very confused. Let's listen carefully.
All right, ma'am. What is your full name?
Davis.
Still just hear I ate sugar lick daddy.
Give me just a second. Okay, give me that name one more time.
Davis.
Okay, got it. I had somebody else. Let me see here. Give me just one moment, Miss Davis. Let me get your paperwork. Okay, hold on here. Oh, it says that you were out to bond.
Yes, sir.
So has somebody posted your bond already?
Yes, they posted it last night. That's what I'm actually waiting on them.
Okay, give me just a second. Yeah, if they posted it, it just may be a matter of processing it, so, I don't know why you're in front of me, but the bond was $1,000, so you're good to go. If they posted your bond, just give them some time to work on the paperwork. Let me see here. I don't think there's anything that I need to do with you because I didn't get your documents, so, you're good to go. Just make sure you keep an eye out for your next court date. Make sure your information is correct with the sheriff's department, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lewis.
All right, can you tell me your name, please?
I'll tell you more, Lewis.
All right, give me just a moment, Miss Lewis. All right, Miss Lewis, you are here on one count of battery. Let's see here. I have reviewed the warrant and I am dismissing it against you. The reason why I'm dismissing it is I don't know who the alleged victim is. I'm not saying you did do it. I'm not saying you didn't. And I don't believe in things called